Well, hello, my darlings. I've been very busy. I'm desperately trying to catch up with the collab. But back with Miss Daphne's passport, I just want to catch you up on her story before I take the story any farther. So, hold on. Where's it gone? There it is. Okay. So I've got my passport, and we have our Mrs. Daphne B. Johnson. So she is Daphne Belle Johnson. My screen's going wobbly. She's an artist. Her place of birth is unknown. Date of birth 27th of March 1903. So she'll be traveling in the 1930s. So I'm going to put her at about 27 years old. Residence is Carmarthenshire. Nationality Great Britain. Height 5'8", eyes hazel, hair brown, and visible peculiarities, a crescent behind her right ear. So this is her passport. I haven't put anything actually in the passport yet. So let's have a look at her story and where it starts. Now my locations are going to be spread out across 3 signatures. So I've got myself a little cheat sheet so I know which location to go to first. So she starts off in Norfolk Broads with Bella. So I've made a few bits to go in here. I've arrived in Norfolk Broads with my battered suitcase, sketchbook, and passport, looking forward to sketching and painting by the waterside. The Broads are beautiful in the mist. Bella was expecting me, although I'd never written to her. She gave me a brass key ornately engraved, and I have no idea what it opens. So in here, I have my little brass key. So, step 1 of the story, the key. Pin that back there. My next location is Ireland. So off I go to Ireland to meet with Edith. Oh, where's Ireland gone? There it is. Lovely. So off I go to Ireland to meet with Edith. Let's have a look. What does it say? Edith knew all about the key, but she wouldn't tell me how she knew. She spoke of women who travel farther than they should, and then asked me if I'd ever dreamed of Ireland before. So someone else knows about the key. Interesting. So after Ireland, we're off to the Pacific Northwest to visit with Shauna. So I've got, that was a blank card there. I've got the forest just go on forever. Shauna told me about a woman in a red coat who used to appear near the water. She disappeared many years ago. I wonder why her description sounds so familiar to me. And then I've got some other bits and bobs here. I've got a bit of red fabric and red thread. A little bit of a clue. And a map of Washington. So, a mysterious woman has basically told me I resemble Daphne. So, Niagara-on-the-Lake next with Marie. Off we go. Niagara-on-the-Lake with Marie. And let's see where Daphne's story takes us. That's the card. That card. Marie showed me an old hotel register. My name was already written inside. I laughed at first. She did not. So let's have a look. So here we go. There's an old hotel register. Signed by Mrs. D.B. Johnson. And an old Prince of Wales Hotel, Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario. And there she is. Mrs. Daphne Belle Johnson. London, England. Room number 27. So, Daphne's name has existed before Daphne was born. So, off we go next to Paris. Ooh, let's see if I can remember where Paris is. I think it might be over here. Off to Paris. Where have I put Paris? Oh, me. I scattered them around on purpose. Here we go. Paris, France. and we're meeting up with Kim. So I've got a map, an old map of Paris there. Paris is everything I imagine. Kim took me to see an old painting near Montmartre. The woman in it looks like me. I can't explain it, and I've not slept since. And behind here we have a copy of the painting, as if it's been bought from a museum. The key is there. So that goes back in, and Daphne then has done a sketch of the painting and written notes on it. Kim says it's 1924. It looks like me, but it's not me. It's my sketchbook and the key. Most unsettling. So off we go from Paris to Las Vegas. And in Las Vegas, we're going to meet up with Rach. And Las Vegas is loud and bright and entirely unlike Paris. Rachel gave me an old playing card. She also said another Daphne Johnson had stayed here in 1957. She said this as if I should already know. So we've gone from the impossible portrait to there being another Daphne. So here's our playing card. Most peculiar. So our timeline is starting to get a little complicated now. So after Vegas, we're off to England to see Gisela. England is in here. Come on. There we go. Off to England. And let's see what we've got here. Giselle tells me that I've been here before, but she's inherited a box with a handwritten instruction. When Daphne returns, give this to her. So I think those are, yeah. Gisela gives me a photograph. The woman looks like me, but the clothing is all wrong. The date is wrong, but she's holding my sketchbook. What have we got in here? Oh, we've got some old British stamps and a train ticket. And, oh, what have we got in here? An old clipping about Stonehenge. And there's the photograph. Again, we've got Daphne with the key in the sketchbook. 17th of September 1901, she visited again. Oh, so, is there more than one Daphne? What is exactly going on here? Daphne's appearance has actually been recorded before. So, from England, we're off to Japan. So, let's find Japan with Tara. Off to Japan we go. Arriving in Japan, Tara's garden is so peaceful. She talks of the concept that objects can carry memories. She gives me an origami envelope. Inside is a tattered paper reading one word, remember. Holding the tattered paper scrap, I remember a childhood room that I've never recalled. There's a woman there that looks like me. Here's our envelope. Come out. Yes. Are these my memories or someone else's memories? So Daphne's beginning to question herself now. So in here we have the origami envelope and just the word remember. So it's getting curious now. What is going on? Put that back in there. That will fit back in there. It's a little snug. So from Japan, we are off to Abernant Woods to meet with Steph. That one is over here. Returning to Wales, I've travelled to Steph's cabin in the wood. She spoke of an ancient tree in Abernant Woods with an old symbol. The symbol on the tree was the same crescent. I put the key against the bark, but nothing happened. As Steph and I stood by the tree, I heard something behind me. No one was there, but fresh footprints in the mud led off deeper into the wood. Unsure of what to do, I turned to Steph. Back in the cabin, Steph speaks of her mom Guy, who said to never follow the woman into the wood. I asked who the woman is, and Steph replied, "You." Here we've got a bark rubbing that Daphne would have made of the tree. Very curious now. So the crescent is actually older than Daphne's journey at this point. And Ambleside Falls next with Kelsey. That was, one page one. So let's see where the story takes us. Sleeping poorly of late, strange dreams. Here to meet Kelsey, and we walked to the falls. It's beautiful and strangely familiar. We found an old tin caught in the rocks. Inside was a photograph dated 1941. On the back, someone has written, "She always comes back to the water." There was also a slip of paper with an unknown scribed quote. So here we are. Here's our photograph, dated 1941. Again, different clothing, and that same obscured angle of Daphne by the falls. She always comes back to the water. And there's a little map of part of Wisconsin. And then we have this old, quote on waxed paper. Water has memory and carries within it our thoughts and prayers, as you yourself are made of water. No matter where you are, your prayers will be carried to the rest of the world. So, I quite like that. Right, one more stop. So Daphne has been to this place before. Daphne's definitely been, or she's going to be there in the future. We'll have to see. And the last stop for today is Ambleside with Jazz. So that is a 2-page spread. Let's have a look what we got. Is there anything else in there? Yes. No, that one's blank. So Jazz was waiting for me. She handed me a letter and said it had been entrusted to her family years ago. I recognized the seal immediately. It's one of mine. The letter Jez gave me was sealed with mottled blue wax. I knew the impression before I touched it. Moons, stars, mountains. My seal. The problem is, all of my seals are at home in Wales. Now we have the letter with the seal. Focus on that. So we've got a moon, stars, mountains on that one. And you open it up. Miss Daphne Belle Johnson. Inside we have, if you've reached Ambleside, you have remembered enough. So we've got a little crescent mark, a lock and a key, and that number 27 has turned up again. So, my darlings, that is where I have come up to with Daphne's story so far. So Daphne has now left messages for herself. So, where do we think the story will go next? So I need to go do some catching up on the collab videos, and I think the next stop is Japan. I need to go and check. But that is our story so far for Miss Daphne. No idea what direction it's going to go, but it's been so much fun. So much fun. So I hope you stick around and hope to see you back again soon. So that's all for me for now. Watch this space. Bye, my darlings.